Hey guys, it's Erica. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. Today I have a H-E-B grocery haul for you. I just went to Costco last week, so I don't need a whole lot, but if you saw my Costco haul, you know that I don't really buy produce at all from Costco. I really stick to frozen food, pantry items, and things that I can use for quite some time. Because it's only me and Adam and the dog, Rebel, who just ran in from the doggy door here, we like to keep our produce on the H-E-B order. So I picked up some produce, no meats this time because I got a lot of meats from Costco. And I'm going to show you my haul today. If you like hauls like this, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and like the video so other people can see this video too, as well as subscribe for more content like this. If you stick around towards the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I'm making for dinner tonight, as well as show you kind of the final product. So let's get into it. Starting with the produce, I have a couple sweet onions here. These are my favorite type of onions to get. I always buy the sweet variety. I find that I don't cry as much when I buy the sweet onions. That's just like what it is for me, is that these are more milder. And as a former onion hater, I like to get sweet onions because I feel like they have a more mild flavor. I picked up one yellow and one green bell pepper. I got these because we're going to do chicken fajitas later on this week, and I wanted to have these to do some peppers and onions. Picked up a head of kale. This was on sale for 97 cents. It was organic, so I got that one. I got a seedless cucumber. For this, I'm going to use it to make a Greek salad later on this week. I'm going to do a whole roasted chicken this weekend and then make a Greek salad the next day and then put chicken on top of it. Same thing with the Roma tomatoes. I picked up 3 of these. These are actually much smaller than they were last time I got them from H-E-B. So I'm glad that I did select 3. I didn't know if that was going to be too many. I actually might need more because I'm going to use these for the Greek salad as well as for the chicken fajita night. So I just grabbed 3 of those. Like I said, they're much smaller than they were last time, so hopefully they last until the weekend. If not, I might run to Kroger, which is closer to our house, and pick up a couple of those. I got some cauliflower. So I normally don't buy cauliflower like this. I want to check and see if the price is the same or not. It's 10 ounces of cauliflower, which is not a lot. It's really light. It's a small bag. Honestly, this is probably more, it says 3.5 servings, but I think this is more like 2 servings. Like after we roasted this down, me and Adam could eat this just for dinner, which is probably what we'll end up doing. But we normally like to make enough in dinner to have leftovers for Adam to take for lunch the next day. Unfortunately, whole cauliflower heads were on sale for 97 cents, just like the kale was. And I just picked up one of those because it was on the weekly ad, and I was like, perfect, 97 cents is a great price. Makes my veggie decision easy this week. And then they substituted it for this. So I'll probably still cook this tonight with the meal that I'm doing, and we'll see how much it actually ends up serving. I grabbed 2 of these romaine hearts. I wanted to get the organic kind, but they didn't have them this time. I actually had a lot of substitutions this week, and I think that it's because I tried to select a couple items I don't normally get. So I just got 3 of these regular romaine hearts, and each there's 3, so I got 2 packages of that for the Greek salad as well as for chicken fajitas. I might do a chicken fajita salad the next day with some leftover meat because we do have a lot of chicken fajita meat that I got in the refrigerator. Well, it's in the freezer right now. It's in the fridge thawing right now, but I got it from H-E-B on a sale, so that's why I have so much of it. I also picked up some zucchini. This is going to be a side for a vegetable later this week. Easy, quick and easy. Zucchini, kale, cauliflower, all quick vegetables that I know how to cook. I like to keep kale and all of these really in my fridge so that if I don't know what I'm going to make for a vegetable that day, I have an easy option. I also picked up some of these avocados. I got the in a bag price. I have actually found that the in the bag price is cheaper right now at H-E-B. So I got them, and these are all pretty firm right now. So I will leave them out on the counter here until they get a little bit softer and riper, and then I will put them in the fridge. I got for drinks, I picked up some whole milk like we normally get. Almond milk, unsweetened vanilla. This is for Adam's protein shakes. He likes to mix that in. I just use water for my protein shake, but he likes a little bit more creamy version. I picked up some of this organic iced tea with strawberry lemonade. It looked really good, and there's actually a special to get it for free. So the coupon right now at H-E-B was if you bought 2 of the H-E-B kettle cooked chips, you'd get a tea for free, and they had a lot of different options. They had regular, not organic, they had unsweet, sweet, they had a green tea, and this one just looked really good, organic with strawberry lemonade. I think Adam will really like this. He likes to have juice or juice-like items to drink in the fridge whenever he has a sugar craving. But I did pick up a couple of these chips. I don't have a problem getting the H-E-B brand instead of the kettle cooked brand or kettle, I think it's just the kettle chip brand. So I like to get these. I think the bags are about the same size. This is the jalapeno. This one is like really green though. They definitely use like some dye in here to make it that green. But these are really good. And then the salt and pepper are really good. These are probably my two favorite flavors. I grabbed these because I wanted to have them available for some quick and easy lunches this week. For those lunches, I was going to do wraps, but the wrap bread that I ordered from the grocery store did not end up showing up. They didn't have it, so I might have to run to Kroger and grab some wrap bread for us just to make some quick turkey wraps. So that leads me kind of into this section. I picked up the club pack of the turkey, just the oven roasted turkey breast. I really like to get this one or the mesquite one. I like to get the club pack. They have 3 different sizes at H-E-B, the regular 9-ounce, a 16-ounce, which is the family pack, and then the club pack, which is 22 ounces, and the club pack ends up being the cheapest way to go. So I got the club pack of this. What I really like is that it comes in this plastic container, but then you have the individual bags in here, so you can just open it as you go, and it stays fresh. So I picked these up to make some turkey wraps with, along with some romaine lettuce, and then some sharp cheddar. So I just grabbed these sliced sharp cheddar cheese. I thought about getting Gouda, but I really like the punch that sharp cheddar gives in a wrap. So I grabbed this to go with this and the romaine, maybe some tomatoes in a wrap bread, but I don't have the wrap bread. So I'm gonna have to get that, and then we'll have the chips as a side just for some fast lunches. There was a couple days this past week that we didn't have food like leftovers in the fridge for lunch, and so then Adam like heated up an enchilada meal that we had in the freezer, and like one day we made like chicken strips or something. So I wanted to kind of make sure we had some options in case we do run into those days when we don't have food at home for lunch, but we need to eat lunch at home. More of the dairy items. I picked up some feta cheese. This cheese was actually the cheapest one I could find, the Great Lakes cheese. I've been seeing that the feta that you get at Trader Joe's is supposed to be really good because it's like brined in brine and water and like some sort of like brine salt and stuff like that. But I just grabbed this one because I just wanted to use it for the Greek this week that I'm going to make the Greek salad. I picked up some Parmesan because I'm going to be doing some pesto pasta later this week. And so I wanted to have some extra cheese to kind of make it a creamy pesto. And with that, I grabbed some of this heavy cream to do that with. This was actually only 97 cents. I feel like it was on sale today because it was really cheap. I had a lot of 97-cent items this week. But I thought that was really cheap because I feel like it's normally more like closer to $2. So I grabbed this one, the 16-ounce. And then that will go with the Parmesan cheese with that pesto pasta. I picked up some of this unsalted butter. I get this question sometimes from people, maybe if you're new to the kitchen or if you're not familiar with like different interchangeable names for ingredients. So sweet cream and butter is the same thing. People ask that sometimes, like, oh, this is sweet cream on it though. I'm like, yep, that's just butter. That's what some people call butter, is sweet cream. It is, you know, part of milk fat that you cream and you make and turns into butter. So this one is unsalted. I always pick up unsalted. If you saw my Costco haul, you saw that I grabbed Kerrygold as well, also unsalted. But I like to have this around if I'm going to use it for ingredients. Like if I'm going to use it as like a cooking oil, or if I'm going to use it in like something to bake where you can't always exactly taste that it's Kerrygold or not. I love to use the Kerrygold when I'm actually like maybe on top of a bagel when I'm gonna eat that and savor that. But I really, or like in my vegetables, I really like to use Kerrygold because if that oil is directly, like when I do the zucchini, I use the Kerrygold because I know I can taste that flavor on it. But if it's gonna be mixed into like a baked good and I'm gonna give it away or something, I'm probably just gonna stick with this one. So this H-E-B one is just fine for me. This is like my backup butter, and then I use the Kerrygold until I need to use this. I also picked up some sour cream. You guys know sour cream is my favorite condiment. I don't even know if it's considered a condiment, but in my life it is. I don't really do like mustard or ketchup. I do ranch sometimes. I do mayonnaise on my sandwiches, but like if you're like, hey, did you want a quesadilla? I'm like, great, I'll need sour cream with that. Like I need sour cream with everything. I love sour cream. Soups, putting sour cream on every soup, almost every soup. Adam always makes fun of me. He's like, you put sour cream on every soup. I'm like, I know, because I love it. That's all of the dairy items that we got. So I also picked up some of these carb sense tortillas. These are probably my favorite carb sense tortillas, or like carb friendly tortillas, is the H-E-B brand. I have used the Mission ones before, but I found that they're kind of uneven in shape. These tend to be more round and like closer to the same shape as well. Like the precision on this is better, I feel like, than the Mission brand. 4 grams net carbs, so these are really nice to have in the house. These are going to be for the fajitas. Adam will use these for the fajitas. I might just make a fajita salad, or I'll maybe make one of these and have a salad with it as well. I'm kind of picky when it comes to like eating carbs, like bread. I don't really crave it. I'm not one of those people that loves it. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to make sure that like I really enjoy it and it's worth it. So that is the tortilla I like. I picked up some of this creamy dill dip. I think that each H-E-B has like a different, like, I think they're like running through their stock of like the old packaging, because this is the new packaging. And so this is the creamy dill dip that I put with the sour cream and eat with my pretzels that I got from Costco. Then I got a couple more items. These Triscuits, I don't normally buy these, but my sister bought some Triscuits last week for a charcuterie board she did. And I'm pretty sure me and Adam like finished off the rest of her box. So I thought I would just pick this up and so we can have it in the pantry so that we can all munch on it and enjoy it. I don't think we've tried the roasted garlic before, but she had this one the other day that was like jalapeno and something, and it was really good. I think it had like flaxseed in it, so that was really good. But I thought we would try these. They had a couple other different flavors as well. They had like a rosemary and olive oil one, but the flavored Triscuits are really delicious. So I grabbed this. We also have some mozzarella in the fridge and some Greek, I'm sorry, not Greek, goat cheese. We have goat cheese, and now this is the Greek feta. So we have all sorts of cheeses that we can use with this and make some little snacks with it. Then I got some of these coffees. I picked up these whole bean. This is my favorite kind, the San Antonio blend. This is really the only kind of coffee I drink. Even at the office, my coworkers pick up the like Keurig. We have a Keurig up there. My coworkers pick up the Keurig coffee, like San Antonio blend for me. I don't have a Keurig at home, but that's what I drink at the office. And so it's really good. But so I wanted to get the deal where you get the 2 pounds of it for, it was like 18 bucks, but I think they were out of the big 2-pound bag. So instead they gave me 2 12-ounce bags. So I'll check the price and see if they did these individually or if it was the other price, because I think individually they are cheaper, but I just like to get the bigger bag. They don't have to buy it as often, and it's a little bit of a savings because these are 12 ounces each and the other one is 2 pounds. So it would be 8 more ounces in the bigger bag. So it saves me some trips, and also it's less packaging. So it's more eco-friendly. Speaking of eco-friendly and not being so, I have these 2 body washes for Adam. They actually had a sale on them this time. So if you bought 2, you got $1 off. Which I was like, of course, he goes through this stuff so fast. So this scent I know I like. Of course, like I'm saying, like I like it because I like the way it smells, which means it's good enough for Adam to use. So I got this Fiji one, the Old Spice Fiji. This is the one he normally always gets. But I noticed when I was ordering that these are only 25 ounces. So these are 25 ounces and it was like $7.50 for that. And then this one is the same exact price, but this one is 30 ounces. So it's cheaper because you have more in the container. So I always get the bigger bottle. I mean, I try to be eco-friendly with this. He goes through it really quickly. They do have a smaller bottle that's like, I think like 15 or 16 ounces. That's just like a squirt bottle. I really like the pumps and all of our stuff in the shower. I think it's just easier to like portion out. You just use one pump and that's all you need to use. You don't have to like pour it in your hand and accidentally drop it. You just like pump it into your loofah and you're good. Like that's your portion control. So it goes as far as it can. So this one is the Pure Sport High Endurance. which hopefully that means, this is like long lasting scent. Hopefully that means that it's like odor neutralizing or something. And so I just thought I would try this one too. We know that he likes this one, but I just figured I would pick this one up too. That is it for the grocery haul, and I am going to show you guys more of what I'm cooking for dinner after I put all of this stuff up. Okay, so for dinner tonight, I'm going to end up doing the zucchini. I don't think we have quite enough cauliflower to make it enough of a side, especially with what else I'm gonna make. So I'm gonna do all the zucchini that I picked up. I did 5, and you can see like when you order online, you can't really get to pick like exactly what size you want. This one is so much bigger than this, even though they cost the same price. When you order it online, you pay, at least at H-E-B, you pay a per item price instead of a per pound, so that they don't have to weigh it and take that time. Whatever, it probably ends up being the same price. That's fine. But what I'm going to do, and the reason I'm also doing this, not only because it'll be a more substantial side than that little bag of cauliflower, which I looked and it was the same price. They did honor the price of the special, but it's much less cauliflower. I'm going to be using the rest of these zucchinis. If you've ever made zucchini noodles with a KitchenAid stand mixer, you end up with these like end pieces where like they just couldn't spiralize the rest of it. So I always save these, and this last time Adam made the noodles, and he knows I like to save them, so you put it in this little container. So I'm going to cut these. When I cut them, I like to cut them into quarters. So I cut them in half and then cut them in half again. And so I'm going to do that with all of these, and it's going to go into a mixture of butter and olive oil, along with just really simple salt, pepper, garlic powder, maybe another seasoning, just depends on what I'm feeling. I like to keep it really simple and use the olive oil and butter for the flavoring of this. So this is an example where I will be using Kerrygold. So this will go into a pan. I like to heat it up high so I can get it really hot and caramelized. Black is fine with me on the zucchini. I will show you what that looks like in the end. And this is one of my favorite sides, an easy side to make. I've been making the zucchini this way, gosh, since like high school. I used to bring grilled lemon pepper chicken and zucchini, sauteed zucchini with me for lunch. So that's how long I've been making this. I don't even think about what I'm doing. I just put stuff in the pan. Then I'm also going to go ahead and cut up all these romaine hearts. This is only one of the 2 packages that I got. Cut it up into like lettuce, salad, bite-sized type of things. So I'm going to cut it into bite sizes, put it in this salad spinner. I'm going to juice some limes over the top, soak it in cold water, rinse it off, then spin it and let it dry. And then I'm going to use that partly for a small salad. I have some balsamic vinegar in the fridge. I'm going to do that and partly put the balsamic vinegar on it that I had. It's like a homemade dressing I've had for a while. With some tomatoes, maybe some Parmesan cheese, maybe some feta cheese, whatever we're feeling on the salad, and that'll be just our other side. And then we won't eat all of this lettuce, so the rest of it will stay in here for the chicken fajita night, or if I want to have salad for lunch tomorrow. I am going to be working from home tomorrow, so that'd be a good option for me to have it already made. I'd like to do this because this can just be stored in the fridge, just like this. And you can just put it in your fridge and you have lettuce. And if you do this method, I think Jen Chapin shows it on her channel a lot. If you do this method with juicing citrus over it, it really does help keep it crisp and doesn't wilt or get brown easily either. Those are the sides. So for the main tonight, I'm going to be doing this pork sirloin. This is like a pork roast. I got it from ButcherBox, and I've done ButcherBox for a while, and recently we decided that we're just not that into it anymore. I think because we live in Texas, we know we can get these cuts from local ranchers, and it's better, if not the same, better quality. So we suspended that membership indefinitely, I guess. Just the last time we had it. We had a couple cuts out of there that we weren't too like thrilled with. This came from the last cut as well. This is an odd cut. So it actually looks like, I think it's 2 pieces in here that they have twined together. And what I did is I looked up on their website how to actually cook this, because that is one good thing about ButcherBox. If they send you a cut and you don't know what to do with it, you can Google it on their website, search it on their website, and find out a recipe. So this is a maple brined pork sirloin. And if you're not familiar with a brine, basically this soaked overnight in a mixture of salt, water, maple syrup, bay leaves, and brown sugar. And basically it's soaked into here. And I can tell that it's soaked in because it was flipped the other direction in the container. And so this was where the level was. So it rose, so it floated in the water. And I forgot to flip it this morning when I left for work, and Adam didn't come home for lunch today to flip it for me either. So we're gonna have this little spot on the bottom that did not get brined, but you can see the huge difference here and what the brining does and how it actually gets to soak into the meat. Also, this is more tender and this is more tough because it is soaked in that salt, but it will be super delicious and tender once you cook it off. Just because it's tough on the outside now does not mean that it's not going to be great later. The instructions say to put it on a sheet pan. I've done that here. Coat it with salt. Well, first off, it says rinse it off. I rinsed it off. I dried it with a paper towel. I'm going to coat it with this olive oil, and then I'm going to put some of our tricolor black pepper on it, tricolor pepper on it, since it has more than one, not just black pepper. And I'm going to leave the twine on because this can cook. This is butcher's twine. You can cook with this. If you were going to do like a beef roast, you would want to do this as well. You would tie it off. This will give it some great little marks here. And I'm going to put it into a 375-degree oven just like this with these two toppings on it, and cook it for 45 minutes until it gets to 145 degrees internally. I have a thermometer that I'm going to stick in here and see if it'll actually work in the toaster oven. Since it does fit in the small sheet pan, I don't know if you can tell how big the sheet pan is compared to my hand. It's pretty small. I have a big hand though. And since it will do that, I won't have to turn the big oven on. I really don't like to turn the big oven on. In Texas, it's always hot around here, and I don't like to be heating up the kitchen if I don't have to. Although it is winter right now, I still don't want to heat it up if I can just use the toaster oven and save some energy. So I'm going to do that, and then I will show you guys what everything looks like when it's put together. I started off by prepping the pork by adding some olive oil and coating the exterior, as well as grinding some of my tricolor pepper on top. What I did is I just purchased some tricolor pepper and actual peppercorns, whole peppercorns from Amazon, and I put it in this fun pepper grinder that we got for our wedding, and I went ahead and just ground it all up all over the outside. Now I'm going to start by prepping some of the romaine lettuce for our dinner tonight for our side salad. I like to cut off some of those end pieces of the romaine first. That way I can get rid of the pieces that aren't as crunchy. And then I slice down lengthwise on both sides, kind of like to quarter it, if you would think about it that way. And then I just roughly chop it to get more of the bite-sized pieces. I find that if I just go ahead and do all 3 romaine hearts that are in the package, it makes it more likely that me and Adam will eat salads throughout the week or have side salads to go along with our dinner because we already have lettuce prepped and ready. After I cut up the lettuce, I'm going to juice 2 limes over it and then fill the whole salad spinner up with cold water. And then I'm going to let it soak in the sink for about 10 minutes. Then I'm going to pull the romaine out, or just pull the little extra little insert there out and let it drain and then rinse. Now that I've got the romaine lettuce soaking in the sink, I'm going to go ahead and do the zucchini and prep that. I'm going to start by cutting up the ones that I had left over from making zucchini noodles. And for these, I cut them in halves and then again in half to make quarters. And sometimes I do it that way, and sometimes I do it in just half moons. So for the rest of these, I went ahead and cut off the end pieces, cut them in half, and turn them on their side. I find that it's a little bit more stable that way for me to cut them quickly, and I can cut all 4 pieces at one time like so. So for these, I just did the half moons. I always cut them at least into half moons. I find that I can fit more in the pan that way, and it makes it easier to turn them and get them brown on all sides. So that is my preferred method, half moons or quarters. Then I'm going to move on to doing the Roma tomato. I'm just doing 1 because I like to just have a little bit of tomato on my salad. So what I did is I cut that in half, and then I squeezed out the seeds from the inside into the sink or trash, whichever one was closest. I think Adam was using the sink, so I wasn't able to use that. And then I just cut around the inside so that I can get those exterior pieces. I find that this makes my tomatoes a little bit more dry and makes the salad less wet. So what I've got in here is about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 tablespoons of the Kerrygold butter. I just have it on like high heat while it melts, and then I'll kind of like mix up and stir it in the pan. I think it's really crucial to have both butter and olive oil in here because the butter gives it more of the flavor, and then the olive oil helps to bring the temperature, the smoke temp up for the butter. So if you just heated it this hot with just the butter, you would burn it very quickly. So we have this going. Once it gets melted in just a few seconds, we're going to add in all of the zucchini, and you can see these are some of the pieces that were spiralized and the rest are the regular ones, and it doesn't really matter. They taste the same in the end. These are the tomatoes I cut up here for our salads. I'm just going to put the lettuce out on the table with these tomatoes and let Adam pick out whatever dressing he wants, whatever cheese he wants, whatever other toppings he wants on his salad, and that will be it. You can see that it is now ready for this. I'm going to go ahead and add in the zucchini very carefully so I don't burn myself here. And I opted to actually not do that large zucchini that I had. I thought I'll keep that, and that would be a good one for us to use for this weekend, maybe if we wanted to do a frittata or just have a little bit of vegetables on the side of breakfast. That'd be the perfect size for us. Not that button. And then on top of this, what I do is I go ahead and layer in the zucchini first, because there's no sense in like stirring it up and then adding your seasonings. You can just stir it all at one time. So then to this, I'm going to top it with some of the super onion blend. This is a Balanced Bites blend. I have a couple of these that I had bought from their site recently. This one has onion flakes, granulated garlic, sea salt, and chives. So it's kind of got like quite a bit of a mixture in here. You kind of have to shake it up a lot to get it all. It does already have salt, but my experience with these seasonings is that they're not very salty, which I like, because then I'm going to add more salt to it for my little thing here, and then also some pepper. And then I'm just gonna grab my trusty spatula. Looks like my favorite one's dirty. I'll use this one and stir it up. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys what it looks like when I have put all the seasonings on it. It is quite a bit of seasoning here. I leave it here in this thin layer so I can coat it, and that's kind of how I tell how much I need. I kind of just get a thin layer of pepper, thin layer of salt, and then I just poured a bunch of that Balanced Bites seasoning in here. Now I'm just going to stir it up to coat it all, to make sure that all the seasoning is everywhere, all of the butter is everywhere, all the oil is everywhere. And once I do that, I'm going to let it sit here until you can smell it. Basically, I want it to be golden brown to brown on one side. Then I will stir it, and if you get these little pieces like this that are like stuck together, just like break them up. And then I will stir it probably once more after that. Let it get brown, stir it, let the other sides get brown. Don't worry if not all the sides get brown. When I was younger, I used to obsess over making sure each side got brown, so like flip each individual zucchini, and it was a complete waste of time. It didn't matter. So don't do that, and then it's gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna let that sit here in a thin layer now that it's still stirred up until it gets brown. And this again is still on that high heat. We got it on a 5, almost super boil over here. Alright, so this is the zucchini, just about done. It is golden brown on most sides. If not all get covered, it's completely fine. I probably used a little bit more oil than I could have, but if you're keto, you know, add more oil. And, oh, Rebel, there he is, waiting for food, even though he already had dinner. He's like looking at my hand, like, what do you have? I don't have anything. So for my salad, I decided to do just some of the romaine, some of the goat cheese that I got from Costco the other day. One of the packages I opened up, and I've been eating it with some crackers. I grabbed some of my favorite artichoke hearts. I just grabbed a couple of those and put alongside here. And then this is a little bit of balsamic vinaigrette that is like super thick. I have one of those like Ninja blenders, or is it Ninja? I don't remember what brand it is. And it like basically turned this into like what looks like chocolate pudding, But this is balsamic vinegar, and so I'm gonna put a little bit on the top of here along with some of those tomatoes I cut. And now Adam is going to carve open the pork sirloin. We hope it looks good. He is using this cool knife that my best friend got me for Christmas from Taste of Texas, and it actually like has our name on it. It says like the Lloyd's on it, and it's got like this cool little like fork thing with it. Looks pretty good so far. Yeah, perfect. So I cooked this to 145 degrees. So that would be like a medium rare as far as pork goes. And you can cook it like that. And we let it rest for a while, so it should be good. Looks perfect. What do you think?
Looks good.
Yeah. All right, so this is the pork all cut up. It is cooked all the way through, and it looks like really good. I will say this is the recipe from Butcher Box, and I followed it as directed. It says to brine for at least 12 hours, no more than 18. I would definitely follow the no more than 18. I think this was brined for, gosh, it may have been just 18 because I didn't put it in the brine until last night around 9 or 9:30. And right now it's 7:45, but it's been out for several hours now. So it may have been about 20 hours that I brined it for. I would suggest that you brine it for no more than 18 if you follow this recipe. I'll link it down below. And that you maybe use 3/4 of a cup of salt instead of a full cup, because the end pieces, these little pieces here, super salty. The center is not so bad, but this is not, like, you cannot eat this. It's really, really bad. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't know. You can kind of tell, like, right here.
Oh, you can tell that it's, like, darker because it's, like,
yeah,
got more salt in it. Okay. That makes sense. All right. So that's my word of advice if you're going to use this recipe. But this is what's for dinner. Adam's got his salad going. I've got mine done. We're going to eat this and the zucchini.